Assalamu alaikum everyone. So today we are going to learn how to factorize two difference of squares, right? Before that, before stepping into difference of two squares, we have to understand what is the square number is. What is this square number actually means, right? So if you have a kind of a number pattern, since grade 6, right, 6, 7, 8, 9, all these grades you have passed with number patterns and general term, Tn, and all these kinds of things, boring stuff which are very difficult to understand also, right? But whatever it is, you have a kind of a beautiful idea of number patterns, right? So how numbers work. Now if you consider 1, 3, 5, 7, these are odd numbers, so we have odd number pattern. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, these are even numbers and this is even number pattern, right? Similarly, when you step on to grade 8, right, they start to teach you people about two different, two beautiful number patterns in mathematics. That is, one is the triangular number pattern and the other one is the square number pattern. So triangular number pattern is going to work like this. If you have a if you can draw a triangle around a certain number of dots, let us say one dot, you can draw a beautiful triangle. And if you consider three dots in case 1 and 2, you can draw another beautiful triangle. If you have 1, 2 and something like this, still you can draw a triangle. And 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, and these patterns, the continuation of these kinds of things will somehow or other make up the triangular number pattern. Now, what is a square number pattern? What is a square number pattern? If you have, if you can draw a square, then it is called the square number pattern. For example, 1, right? So 1, and you have 4 dots, it's going to be 4. You have 9 dots, it's going to be 9. So these are also square number. You can somehow or other make a square. Now you see that 1 into 1 or 2 into 2 and 3 into 3. All of these are going to make you what? All of these are going to make you square number pattern. You have to understand that very carefully. So what is this difference of two square means? What is this difference of two squares means? Now if you consider 1 is 1 square, right? Square term. 2 into 2 is 2 square. It's a square term. 3 into 3 is 3 square. It is a square term, right? So these are square numbers. These are square numbers. When you say difference of two squares, right, what do you mean by difference? Difference is the subtraction of a number by another number, right? Simply. So difference between 2 and 3 is 1, right? 2 and 3, the difference is how much? 1, obviously. So how are we going to get it in another way? That is 3 minus 2 is also 1, right? So difference between 2 and 3 is 1. 3 minus 2 is also 1. So difference means it's simply the subtraction, right? So when you consider difference of two squares, it's simply 3 squared minus 2 squared, something like this, right? Something like this. So our idea is, how are we going to factorize these kinds of things, right? So factorization always, in most of our time, in our applications, it involves algebraic terms, right? We most of the time use algebraic terms. So we have to somehow or other find a method to factorize these algebraic terms when you have a difference of two squares. For example, let us consider, suppose if you have x squared, alright, minus 3 squared. How are we going to factorize this? Now listen to this very carefully. I want you all to pay attention. So this is a square term here and this is also a square term here. Now x squared, can I write this as plus 0x? Now you know that there is no any x term, so I'll put it as 0x minus 3 squared. Get it? Alright. Now you have x squared plus 0x minus 3 squared. Now this is a quadratic equation which we have already learned. So this is x squared plus 0x minus 9. So now we have a perfect, perfectly alright. It is a superb quadratic equation. Now we are going to apply our theory that we have already applied. What is that? Suppose if you have 0x, you have to break this into 2. The middle term should be broken into such that it should make up, when you multiply the coefficient of x, it should make up 9, right? So the best numbers that you are going to get is 3 and minus 3. Look at this. 3 minus 3 is 0. 3 into minus 3 is minus 9. Alright. So you are going to get x squared plus 3x minus 3x, right? 3 minus 3 is 0. So you are getting it, right? 3 into minus 3 is minus 9, right? So you are having minus 9 also. Now take these two together and these two together. So now if you consider these two together, you are having x as a common term, so you are having x plus 3 minus, take 3 out of the bracket, so you are having 3 into x. Now you have taken minus 3 out, so inside the bracket you should get x plus 3. Now if you consider these terms together and these terms separate, if you consider them separately, you have x plus 3 and x plus 3 to be common. So this factorization, simple factorization, you can take this x plus 3 out of the bracket, so you are going to have x plus 3 into x minus 3. Alright, this is some kind of a basic idea of factorizing two difference of squares. You will see a beautiful pattern, that is x squared minus 3 squared. When you have x squared minus 3 squared, this can be written as x plus 3. First you have to add this x and 3, and then you have to subtract 3 from x. So and then you have to multiply them together, right? You can try it at home. Whatever the algebraic term you have doesn't really matter. Whatever the difference of two square you have doesn't really matter. If you have, let's say, for example, x squared minus 5 squared, the difference of square, the factorization of the difference of x squared minus 5 squared is going to be x minus 5 into x plus 5. Right? So this is one of the example. For example, suppose if you have, let us say something like this: x plus 2 whole thing squared minus 3 squared. How are we going to do this? Right? Now you see this clearly. This is a square number. This is also a square number. Right? So you have to subtract this 3 from x plus 2. So you are going to get x plus 2. Subtract this 3. You are going to get minus 3. And then you have to add them. X plus 2 is already there, you have to add this 3. So you are having something like this. So if you solve this, you will get x plus 2 minus 3, right? So the sign of 2 is plus and the sign of 3 is minus. So they have two different signs. When the signs are different, you have to subtract one another. So 3 minus 2 is going to be how much? 1. Who has the largest sign? 3. Now 3 is the largest number, so he should have the largest sign. So you have to put the sign of that number, so it's going to be x minus 1 into x plus 2 plus 3 is going to be x plus 5, and there you go with the answer. So whenever, whatever the way you have, doesn't really matter. You just have to get the sum and you have to get the difference. You just multiply the two terms, two binomial terms, and then you will get the factorization of two difference of squares. Thank you.